On your farm, the end result is clear. Our product in your tank, our people at your side, our programs hard at work, and our genetics moving you forward. Behind every bull that has changed the breed, every research project that has shaped our industry, and every partnership that has set new standards is our undying passion to serve you, our customer owners, by enhancing the productivity and profitability of your herd. Select Sires, your success, our passion.
So I'm Jamie and we're going to talk about picking your calf. How many of you guys have already picked your calves? Okay, and what was your selection criteria when you chose your calf? Size? Dairiness?
How straight their back is?
Yep.
Feet and legs.
Feet and legs. And when you talk about size, what are you talking about? That they're appropriate size for you or for their age group? Or both? Both. Good. So we got two calves out here. They're both December calves. The big thing is when you're picking your calf, everybody has different preferences. What are the major defining differences between this heifer and that heifer? So when we get these two heifers lined up in line, what do you notice in the difference of the two heifers now? What about who's wider? This one? Which one's tail sits between its pins better? This one or that one? So when we look at these two calves, who's wider front-ended? Sure? So this one's wider, right? This one's wider from her muzzle all the way back through. She's deeper in her forerib, which will give you an idea like she's going to get more rear rib as she keeps maturing. This heifer is a little tighter in her forerib. She's a pretty calf, very extremely long. She just lacks a little rib. And when we're looking at her, we're asking ourselves, do you think she's going to gain rib later on? And I don't think this heifer will as much because she's so pinched in here that I don't think it's going to carry back through. You guys have any questions so far? So if you're looking at these two, what's the one thing that you could, if you wanted to change on this one, what's the biggest thing you'd like to change?
Well, the first one's a lot cleaner and back legs.
Yeah.
Rib depth.
Yeah. Anything else? What about her front end? If you had to change one thing on the calf over here, what would you like to change? Feet and legs. Do they bother you as much when she's moving, or is it just when she's standing still? I think you have to look at them in the situation they're in. Like if you go to a place and there's just one calf and you're looking at it, it's hard to compare her to another one, but I think if you talk about her parts and you look at their parts and break them down part by part, I think that, obviously it's always nicer to see two together to compare. If you're picking two, if you have two calves at home and they're the same age, it's nice to get them together. And you'll narrow your groups down. You'll start in the wintertime and you'll say, oh, we have 5 December heifer calves. And then by the time you start to get to pick, you can get it down to 2 or 3, and then you make your selection from there. But it's always nice if you can put them side by side or together so you can actually compare them. And it is nice to see them on a halter too, because that's what you're going to do with them. You're going to show them. So
So say you're at a sale like
like here, like a tag sale or a sale sale, is it wrong to ask them to have one walk out for you? So you can...
Always. Always. Because they can change a lot. And I always ask. I mean, they don't always lead good. I mean, there's lots of times you go to a sale and you ask somebody to take it out and they don't lead and you don't actually get a good look. I'm not sure I'd let that be my final decision, but it is nice to see them off the straw or shaving so you can actually get a look at their feet, watch them move. But I always ask.
What if the breed you want, there's only one of that calf?
I guess that's your selection criteria, unfortunately.
Have two calves in the same age, and one's taller, but some faults, and then the other one's short, or like she's younger for her age, but she is a really, really nice calf. What should you?
I guess that's when you weigh your options and you see the two heifers. If you see the two heifers together, decide, okay, is my calf short compared to this heifer, the big one, or is she short compared to other heifers her age? You know, and I'm a big believer if their parts are right, it's probably more important for a cow or a heifer to be correct than it is to be just big.
Yeah, that's what I think, but I know that's not all.
And that's a preference thing. At the end of the day, you're probably going to have to pay or live with your decision. So it's what you want. Because you're going to see, if you show all summer, you're going to go to lots of different shows, and every judge is going to have a different preference, and they're not always going to pick the same. Like, you guys could all go in, and all those calves could be for sale still, and everybody's going to pick a different calf. Who would pick that calf? And who would pick this one? Okay. That's either answer's right, as long as you can say why.
Look at how much they went for.
One was quite a bit more expensive.
I have a question.
Yes?
Okay, sometimes I have a problem with the back leg. Like, what angle is the best for the back legs?
So you're talking about their, like from here down or from the side? I might, you never know.
Come on.
Here down.
Okay, from behind?
Yeah.
You want their front feet, their back feet to point straight ahead towards their front feet.
Okay.
This heifer tracks almost perfect from behind. And then from here, I like to see from here down, when she's set up nice, a straight line right through her leg and to the ground.
Okay.
But it's hard sometimes on calves this age because they're still growing so much, and their legs are going to change as they keep growing.
I have this heifer. Well, she was a heifer, but she has like a really cute, a dairy cow. She looks like a dairy cow. She has like a big frame, and she just did really good at the fairs. So when I was at the expo, her head wasn't very like, it didn't look like a dairy cow. It just kind of, it was different.
Okay.
And it kind of like came down to that. So would that be like a big issue?
Breed character for each particular breed is different when you're talking about their heads, and that's probably a preference thing. And when you talked about being at Expo, you're talking about the best of the best from all over North America, and at some point they do have to figure out a way to compare one to the other, and that's how close of the placings are at that show. At that level, they have to find something to compare the other ones to. Because if you ever get to watch the show at Madison, it's pretty neat. You know, you looked in the top 20 and you're like, oh, I'd like to take all of them home, not just, you know. So, and it's that close. I mean, at that level, it's that close.